Razer Blade Stealth, and I said we were going to be reviewing it. So that's what I'm here with today. This last alongside the Blade Stealth at CES. It's basically an external GPU that connects via Thunderbolt that will turn your ultrabook into a beast of a gaming and editing machine. Pricing was announced on the Core earlier this week, and it's going to come in at $499 standalone and $399 if you buy alongside the Blade Stealth. As soon as we get our hands on one, we will have a follow-up video featuring that for you guys. First thing I want to address is the build. The Razer Blade Stealth is made of CNC aluminum, which means it's extremely solid and very, very durable. It comes in at about 2.75 pounds, so it's not the lightest laptop, and it feels kind of heavy, but it has a very nice weight to it. I'm a huge fan of the build, and the build really changes your experience using this laptop. Bear with me and I will explain. Moving on to the screen, we have a 12.5-inch either QHD or 4K display. Now, we tested out the QHD version, which was more than Windows 10 being supposedly designed for half tablet, half desktop use. However, one of the big problems I've run into using Lenovo laptops, the touchscreen is very usable. I found myself lying in bed, pinching, zooming, scrolling, doing all the things I would normally do on a tablet or smartphone, and then using the full-size keyboard and using it as a regular laptop as well. One of my gripes with the display is just those bezels. I mean, look for yourself. It's hard to avoid them. Continuing with hardware, we have Razer's signature Chroma keyboard with 16.8 million colors per key. Now, honestly, this is not really a feature or something that I use. It's more just an aesthetic thing that kind of sets them apart from other PC manufacturers. But while I don't care, it was an absolute pleasure. There is a little less travel than there would be on a traditional keyboard because the laptop is obviously so thin. That being said, it's something you get used to very quickly, and it's a very good experience. My only gripe is that the trackpad and the keyboard are kind of crammed, and so I found myself often typing and my hand would sort of bump into the trackpad and mess up everything going on screen. Speaking of the trackpad, it's fantastic, very good size, feels great. I just wish it would have been clickable all across rather than just at the bottom. In terms of processing power, we're looking at an Intel Core i7 dual-core processor with hyperthreading, which clocks in at 2.5 gigahertz or can turbo boost up to 3.1 gigahertz. It's more than fast enough for everything that I comment on this, since it gets the job done for everybody's regular needs, but for those who want something more intense, you're gonna have the Razer Core, which we don't have to review yet, so hang tight for that. In terms of memory, we have 8 gigs of DDR3 dual channel onboard memory. I/O, we have Thunderbolt 3, which is now the same port as USB-C. It also charges via USB-C, so for those of you who care and want to charge off a battery pack or something, it'll charge slowly, but that is an option. We also have 2 USB 3 ports and an HDMI output. For those who have tested the 4K display version, we've heard the battery life has not been great, even saying that it comes in only at 3 hours, which is nowhere near what the competition can offer. That being said, with the QHD version, we got much closer to the projected 8 hours, coming in at about 6 to 7 hours on solid usage. A couple noteworthy things that don't really fit into any category for this laptop are, number one, fingerprints. This matte black type finish looks great, but it attracts fingerprints like crazy, and because of the material, you really have to take a cloth and really clean it for a while before you get those fingerprints out. More of my personal gripe was the logo. Now, I don't have a problem with Razer's actual logo, but the way it looks on this laptop when it's not backlit, it looks like a sticker, and it just looks cheap for some reason, whereas the rest of the laptop looks super premium and high quality. A huge plus for me though, very small design, but I love the grips underneath. Now, normally on laptops we see 4-foot grips, but here we saw 2 long rubber bars, and it does such a good job of keeping the laptop in place when you have it on a desk. So those are really my overall thoughts on the Blade Stealth. It's hard to give some finalized opinions because we haven't used the Core yet, and that's going to be a huge part of how powerful this ultrabook can become. That's the most interesting aspect to me, that it's this transformer of a device that can go from being this ultra portable laptop and then become a pretty much desktop replacement with a dedicated GPU and fulfill all your gaming, video editing, and GPU intensive needs. As a straight up ultrabook, I can say that I would definitely recommend this to someone who is on Windows. It's effectively a MacBook Air competitor, and I think it checks all the boxes that one would look for in this price range, beginning at $1,000 and then going up from there.